everyone! So today I want to show you guys the pet room sort of in full, a full tour. I haven't really cleaned anything up. The cages need spot cleaned. Like, I wanted a full realistic tour of the pet room because Vlogmas starts in a few days. It is like the 28th right now, and it starts on the 1st for me, but the 2nd for you guys. So I wanted to show you guys the tour of this room ahead of time because in all likelihood during Vlogmas, I'm going to be making changes to this room. So as I go through, I will tell you some of the changes you can look forward to during Vlogmas. And yeah. So you'll have to excuse the state of the cages. I wanted to get this up before the sun fully goes down because it's going down as we speak. So let's just start. We'll start here right when you walk in. Here's the door. You run smack into the hedgehog cage. Well, I mean, there's a good amount of space. There's a spare garbage bag because I have to take the garbage out. You've got a lamp here. Draco lives on top and Blaze lives on bottom, and then on top of that we just got some random stuff. I've got a towel because they need baths, some of Sis's stuff that I don't have anywhere to put, and then I've got some cozies in this. I think they're caves. Yes, caves. And then I've got their food and water. Sorry about the lighting, it's being bumped up by that there. And then in the corner here, we just have one of those little like tray table things that I have the trash can on. Like I said, I need to take that trash out, so that's why that random bag is sitting there. But I also need to clean the pig's litter tray, so I'm gonna put that in there. We have another lamp here, and then this wire storage unit that I just sort of pieced together with a old, with all the CNC grids I used to have, because if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know I used to have pretty much all CNC cages. And I've got some random, well, these things, why am I, ladders. I've got ladders on the side of it. And then I've got a ton of storage here, which isn't really organized. I'll start on top. This little litter tray is a bunch of bug stuff. Even these guys are going to be getting changed around because I'm thinking about breeding again. Thinking about it because I've accidentally started breeding, so I might as well just do it. So we've got mealworms, we've got some mealworm beetles or darkling beetles, and then this is pupa. And I keep them in a container with a lid because it keeps the humidity up, which helps them pupate correctly. This is a grow out container that has some babies in it. And then I've got the calcium powder for Finn and an empty bowl to mix that in. Below that, I've got a bunch of tweezers. There's some on the floor because I am a mess. Some empty containers, a strainer, the calcium supplements, and just some more empty containers and bags and fun stuff. I think that's hornworm chow and you know. And then the one next to it is food mostly and treats. This is to spray the pupa to keep the humidity up, but we've got some puffs and whimsies, the hamster food, the tenrec food, some more treats. That's about it. Back to the top here, that I just keep there because it's easy to access. This is where the sand goes, but I need to refill it, and this is the pig's veggie bowl. Baby wipes. I always have baby wipes on hand. I have a heat gun to tell me the temperature of any individual cage I want to know the temperature of. I do have individual thermometers in a couple of them, but the heat gun is really handy because the thermometers go out more than the heat gun does. Oh, then I have paper towels, of course. There's a bag of Eco Earth back here and a bonding bag. just sitting on the windowsill. And then I've got an iHome and an an iPod that I play music on during the day when I'm not in here so that they're completely used to noise. I have some spare pads here for the hedgehogs, the guinea pig food. Back in the back is some hedgehog shampoo and coconut oil. How should I show that? Well, here's another ramp for one of the critter nations. There's all the stuff. That's coconut oil, and some shampoos and a cage cleaner from Hedgehogs and Friends. I don't use all of the scents all at once, so I've got my favorite one in the bathroom with their bathing stuff. This is hamster food mostly, so we've got some millet. This is oxbow that I don't use but need to throw out. This is their Higgins Sunburst mix. This is the Missouri Rat and Mouse. And this is more treats that won't even open. It's so stuffed. Like Yogi's from when Arwen was sick, and I haven't had the heart to get rid of them, but I don't really like giving them to my hamsters. What is this? Oh, freeze-dried chicken. And some extra spoons. And then this is flaked peas and corn. I pick the peas out for the pigs. They don't get the corn really. Then I've got the Snuggle Safe disc and some cooling tiles there. And then these two are full of snuggle sacks and little laundry bags to wash fleece strips in. And then that bottom one, I don't even know what's in this bottom one. Some of Finn's old stuff, some towels, bandanas, looks like some dog stuff, and these Critter Nation ramp covers that came with the ramps. Next to that, and you'll have to excuse that there's hay everywhere because there's always hay everywhere. I got more of Finn's old stuff and some carrying bags, and this is a bunch of junk, really miscellaneous stuff, some meds, a hose attachment so that I can vacuum underneath the Critter Nation, a spare thermometer, some light timers that I never set up when we moved that I should have set up, some spare parts to wheels, the drill, scissors, just a ton of junk. And then this is hamster stuff, bowls, straws, hides, bridges. This bottom one here, sorry I'm using my foot, is some of Gimli's stuff. If you saw his very first cage tour, that's the stuff from that. Underneath the Hedgehog's cage, there's also apparently a washcloth there and a pen. Don't ask me why, they're just there. Underneath Blaze's section is one of our carriers, a igloo and the cover for it, and a spare elbow that no one is using right now. We've got our hay by the door here and by the closet, which has a bunch of stuff we never really use in it. So this bag is the stuff that little tree came in. I'll show you that in a minute. So I keep that there so I can get rid of the tree when I'm done with it, or put it away, not get rid of it. We've got some spare pans here for the Critter Nations. It doesn't really want to focus. The space heater. This bin I use a lot for, there's fleece in it because I use it a lot for the hamsters, to take pictures and to bond with them, or try to bond with them. These are empty. They're just extra bins. And then this has like very minimal storage in it. There's like tiny pieces of coroplast and Critter Nation ramps. And then we've got fleece that is too big for the individual pans. So like, I think this one's 3 yards, this is 2 yards, and this is 2 yards. And then we've got a lid for the bowl that I give the hedgehogs their baths in. If you guys were around when Lumia was around, this is some of the stuff from her old cage. I've got the washable pads that I used to use under fleece. I use disposable ones now to save on laundry, but these are some of the washable ones. I have more. And then this is the case for the Dremel that I use to make the bins, or used to use for the make the bins. That was barely English, sorry. We got a corner litter tray. My cat's trying to come inside. And then 3 extra wheels back there. One was Lumi's, one was Finn's, one was Arwen's. Actually, the comfort wheel has seen a lot of animals. Up here, we've got the pads that I use under the fleece, dustpan and broom, extra clean and cozy, extra food for the hedgehogs, and then that emergency, I think I mentioned it in a vlog or something, the emergency supply of hay that we had to buy from Meijer that sucked, but I haven't thrown it away yet. And then we've got the little tiny Christmas tree that I got from Five Below. Oh, let me close the closet because otherwise the cat will go in there. He's probably, no, he's over there. Okay, so I got this little tree from Five Below. It has lights. I don't know why I didn't turn them on for the video. And behind that, I do have some fleece stuff that I don't use as often, except for this. I do use this, but I have the bigger one in the cage right now. So that's like my flannel cuts of fabric. All of these bins have fleece stuff in them. I think this one has tunnels. This one has cuddle cups, I think. This one has random stuff. In fact, it's very full of random stuff. More fleece that doesn't really fit the cage. And yeah, and some scraps that I don't really use. These are 1x1 and 2x1 pads. And then these are 1 yard cuts of fleece, which I use for the individual trays. And of course, the cages are a mess. Already mentioned that. This top cage here belongs to Mary and Pippin, who are my guinea pigs, if you guys aren't aware. And these are 3 separate double critter nations, and I left the side panels off of them when I built it and zip tied them together. You can see a zip tie up here. So yeah, that's 3 cages pushed together. I will leave the links to these cages down below. I get questions about it all the time. This is Sissa's cage. Well, that is Sissa's cage. These doors are literally just to keep the cat off of it. She will be getting an upgrade hopefully soon. Within Vlogmas, you guys will see that. Below her cage and next to, we've got some of the wood stove pellets that I use for the guinea pig litter tray, the wheel that she chewed apart that I have not thrown away, because I kind of want to fix it somehow maybe. And then some hides, a spare flying saucer, and the carrier that I use when I clean the cage. And then here we have Finn's cage. Finn's cage will also be changing a little bit. Right now he has a loft and that blue tunnel to get to the loft. That's going to be changing to something a little more torpor friendly, just because he likes to sleep in that tube and he doesn't really use this top section anymore because he sleeps a lot. So I'm going to be making it a single level again, sort of like what I did a cage tour of when I first set this cage up. And then we've got the guinea pig's carrier and or the cat carrier. We do have a spare cat carrier, but this is like a smaller version. And then another carrier that was a DIY one, and a fabric carrier, and then another one of the Living World carriers, and then the little, I had that in Gimli's cage and literally just took it out of there recently. That's why it's under there. No excuses. I was just too lazy to put it away. And that's Gimli's cage. Gimli's cage will be staying the same. I've modified it, although I should be doing a cleaning video somewhat soon. So that's his cage there. He really enjoys it. I really enjoy it. It does need cleaned though. So that's his cage. Very busy. And yeah, that is the entire pet room. So let's discuss some of the changes. I already addressed that Sis's cage. She's getting a whole new cage. I am actually going to be putting the guinea pigs on the bottom level. I've been talking about doing that forever. I'm going to actually do it. So they will be on the bottom level. So it'll be the 3 on the bottom, and then I will have only 2 on top. And I'm either going to put her new cage on an empty section, either there, or I'm going to put her somewhere else and use that empty section for storage. Haven't fully decided, but there will be an empty section. She'll no longer be in one of these. And then what else am I doing? I am hopefully going to be modifying this storage because it takes up a lot of space, and I would like some more floor space. I also want to get maybe another one of these. I was thinking about a table, but it'll probably just be easier to have 2 of these because these are like little lap trays, and you can just fold them up and put them away when you're not using them. So I think the plan is that instead of this being like a square, I'm gonna do like thin, tall storage on either side of the hedgehog cage. That way it clears up this wall, and then I'm going to be putting this and maybe another one of these tables that way, so that I'll have different storage in that direction. And then these guys are gonna get, if I do decide to legitimately breed and not just like, I don't know, not just stuff that I couldn't control, because if you've ever had mealworms, you know that they pupate very quickly and accidental breeding happens all the time. So if I do decide to do that, they will get a new setup, probably something like this but bigger. So yeah, lots of changes happening, nothing major, but I wanted to show the pet room, you know, before those changes happen, just so that everybody gets an idea of where it came from. Ever since we moved, I haven't been entirely happy with this room. It's big enough for the pets, but it's smaller than what I was used to, and I've never fully come to terms with the kind of storage I'd like to have. I will have a link to these cages for you guys that ask. I get lots and lots of questions about them. And I did want to be totally realistic about, you know, what the pet room looks like on any given day. I've always got hay on the floor from these guys, and I still have not put anything on the walls. I really want to do fan art. I'm thinking over here or on the closet door, because I don't actually open this closet very often, but I also want a calendar here, most likely, like one of those whiteboard calendars, to help me keep track of when everybody gets weighed and things like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, of course, and I will have the link to these cages down below in the description. I will have all of my social medias down there as well. And yeah, that's about it. I can't wait for Vlogmas. I am definitely a little stressed about it, but that's okay. And I can't wait to get some of these changes underway. I'm really excited to hopefully finally make this room the room that I wanted it to be when we moved in. So anyway, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video, which should be the first day of Vlogmas. Bye guys.